All right, let's talk about how to find percent of a number. This is a really, really common skill. We use it in shopping. We use it in, dealing with populations and however many people are in a group that are one thing or another. For example, 25% of your class may be 12 years old and 75% may be 11. Anyway, it's just really common, but let's look at how to find it. You see it most often when you're taking quizzes, right? So let's look at a problem like this. Let's say Joey took a test and he had 80% of his words were spelled right. It's a spelling test, right? And you often get a test back with 80% at the top, and you wonder, what the heck does that mean? Well, you need a little more information to make sense of it. Let's just say there were 20 words on the test. And that's really all you need to figure out how many you spelled correctly, but let's just go ahead and figure it out. That means that there were 16 right. I'll tell you how this works. There are three things going on in every percent problem. And one of them is this, the percent. And we usually write it as a decimal, right? So in this case, obviously, it says 80%. So we can say 80% of his words. And that's the total, right? The whole amount of his words are right. And we know that there were 20 words. That was the total. So that's the total. And here's the important thing. We want to say it's 80% of 20. And you know that of means to multiply. So 80% of 20. And we want to find out what that is. Of course, you know the word is means equals, right? So when we say 80% of 20 is, that will tell us the part that we got right. In this case, we know it's 16. 80% of 20 is 16. So we're just translating these words into a mathematical expression. 80% looks like 80 hundredths, of looks like multiply, and 20 as well, that's already a number. Is what we're looking for. That's the equals part. And we know in this case the part is 16. Let me just show you how that works. It's a simple multiplication. So we'll say 80%, that's a decimal, of, that's multiplication, 20, and we can find out what that means. 0 times 0, 0 times 8, and we're in the tens place, so I'll start with a 0 there. 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 8 is 16, and this has 2 decimal places in it, so my answer will have 2 decimal places in it. 20% of 80 is 16. And this format works for every percentage problem. You can always lay out the percent times the whole amount, and it will tell you the part. Okay, this part is really important because remember, a percent is like a fraction, right? When we say 80% of 20 is 16, we're really talking about this fraction, 16 out of 20. Often you see this at the top of a test also, along with the percentage. Okay, so this is a multiplication problem. Some people might say, well, I could take this fraction and turn it into a percent, and that would work too if you represented it as a fraction. Often we don't get that kind of information. We're often missing this top number, right, the part, and we often have to find it. Okay, so this will work for you always. The percent of the whole amount is the part. All right,